This session today, we're rethinking race and bias to improve federal agencies. That is the micro discussion. And either man or woman will come out of the bathroom with something stuck on their foot. And they don't know that it's stuck on their foot. And until somebody tells them that they've got some toilet paper on their shoe, they don't know that they stepped on something. And so what we are going to do is to talk about implicit bias. Implicit bias is the toilet paper that gets stuck on our shoe that we don't know is there. We just went into the bathroom, which in this analogy is the socialization process, and picked something up along the way. The macro discussion, understanding bias to ensure American principle. And Trevor Noah talked about the contract. And the contract, we know them as the founding principles of American democracy, which Thomas Jefferson writes in the Declaration of Independence that all men are given unalienable rights by their creator, of which being life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That is the contract. And then we go on after he writes that Declaration of Independence 11, 12 years later, and we put into effect our Constitution, which is the contract which Trevor Noah was talking about. And we have seen as Americans that when the contract does not represent us adequately, then we put in amendments to that contract. And we have done it with the right to vote for African Americans, outlawing slavery, women's suffrage, and other amendments, because when we started with the first 10, we realized that it wasn't good enough. Also, bias is another way that you can look at prejudice, and we all have bias. I'm going to explain it more, but I just want you to know that prejudice is bias is something that you come into a situation with that you have, like that man in the bathroom, have caught along the way. Now, implicit and unconscious means you don't know you have it. You do not know you have it. And when you don't know you have it, the most important thing then is going through trainings like this and seeing the videos that Bill is sending out and the other things that you're doing at Kennedy Space Center to make you aware. Now, explicit and conscious bias is the type of bias that you know you have, and it is the part of the mind that is the smallest part of your behaviors. Implicit and unconscious is the most. Explicit and conscious is the least amount of things that we do. And we're going to talk more about this. Now, discrimination is what you do based off your bias, whether it be implicit or explicit. Because of the way I feel, I'm going to treat someone differently. I'm going to take away rights from them. But remember that the contract says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, no matter your gender, no matter your race, no matter your sexual orientation, no matter your religion, no matter your height, no matter your size, no matter your hair color. Stereotypes are oversimplified understanding of people. Let me say that again. It is oversimplified understanding of people. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, but the most important thing I want you to understand about stereotypes is that they are incomplete. Now, race is something that is made up. Have you understand? If a Black man can give you his lung to a Asian woman and it works, and it does, then the idea of race, of different races, is made up. We are a race which is human, and we share 99.99% the same DNA, right? And the difference that you see beside that is very, very small in the DNA code. But you can transfer organs from different races, right? And so we then have to be the same race, okay? And racism, now this is a very important one for us to understand. And racism, I want you to understand, is about power that is connected to discrimination. It is power connected to discrimination, right? And it usually is with a particular race. And in our country, it is with African American, Latino, Native American. But when we talk about race, always understand that it is about power. All right, we're about 13 minutes in. I got about 47 more minutes to go. But I want you to understand that racism is about power. And here is the other thing that holds us back and has held us back, is that we have been taught that when speaking about racism, that it makes you a racist. To identify problems with different groups that have been impacted, that it makes you a racist. No, discriminating against people with power involved to take away their life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that makes you a racist, not the discussion of race. If you are taking notes at home, ladies and gentlemen, write this equation down. And the equation is this: education plus media images equal implicit bias. Let me say that again. Education plus media image equal implicit bias. Now, in a vertical line under education, because the TED Talk with Burundi Thurston, he talked about an equation. An equation helps us formulate it for those who are right brain people instead of left brain people, right? And so under education, in a vertical line, put K-12 education, put college, put religion, put family, put personal experience, and then also you can put books. Again, under education, put K-12, put college, put religion, put family, put personal experience, and put books. Now, under media images, you can put radio, movies, TV, social media, and you can put plays, okay? Now, let's move on to the next section. Now, here's the part that I want you to understand, guys, that is so powerful that I understand it. The conscious mind, the mind that we think we use the most, we only use 10% of the time. That's system 2. And this is probably going to be the only time at NASA where you're going to have in a presentation Homer Simpson and Mr. Spock, okay? But in system 2 is our conscious mind that we only use 10% of the time. And from what I understand, our body uses more of its, and this is getting really in the sciencey part, using more of your carbohydrates when you are in system 2. And so to put stuff sort of on automatic pilot where you use less energy, the majority of your body function occurs in system 1. It's faster, it is unconscious. You make these quick associations based on everything you've seen and that you heard, and that is intuitive. But the other side is slower, okay? It's almost lazier. It's not decisive. And when you're odulating between one and two things, you are in system two and not system one. But the main point is that the majority of what we think about is in system two, the processes that our body is going through right now, and that's in system one.